Sometimes you've just got to burn your points. I've been looking at this unit as well as a bunch of others in Colorado for a long time. I had 10 points accumulated and just figured that this was as good a time as any. My dad came down with me to be camp cook and all around morale booster, and then a guy from Michigan came down, Victor Beaudry. Now a buddy. He just came down to learn how to hunt elk and video me and did it all out of his own pocket, and I can't thank him enough. Hope you guys enjoy this video.
We'll work this kind of hard to tell, but it's an old road, I think. We'll work this up and probably branch off of this where it starts to flatten out and bench out. Look for elk where I think there should be some. That's in addition to the pie I've got so far. That's a start. We're 1 for 3. Definitely wasn't a full man bugle, but it's something. I mean, there's a lot of times you can have satellite bulls give their away. So. You gotta hunt it like it's big, regardless, especially if we don't have anything else to go on. I'm gonna give him probably 5 minutes on bugle again and see if we can pinpoint it. Oh yeah, buddy. Hear that? Yeah, he's not real aggressive with it. It's just, where are you, dude? I'm right here. Everything's cool. This is like the exact scenario where guys will bugle their way in and it's not natural. Especially when all he said was, I'm right here, everything's cool. So people that want to bugle their way in the whole time, they're going to do nothing but make him nervous, stand up and move on. Kind of just, we don't know right where he's at all, but we're trusting ourselves enough to know that we've got him around that meadow, and we're moving on that. So we can be in better position. There's no need to just continually call your way in and be unnatural about it, especially when the woods are this quiet. right. That's that. We crossed the valley on this bull. When we were coming over, the wind was perfect right in our face, but I had a suspicion and thinking that when we got over, this was all in the sun. The thermals were going to be moving uphill. And I guess the thermals are, but we also just got the wind finally kicking up and it kind of swirled it where we were at for a while. Wrong timing with swirling winds. That's only going to happen another 20 or 30 times in September. So merely the first one, but he was interested enough, I think, to come in. I was telling Vector off camera, if we'd have done that right, I didn't know he was this far up on the hill. I thought we'd kind of passed him when we went up. So I thought we were even with him, and he bugled from above us. So did a lot of things that weren't exactly perfect, and now that we're standing here, our wind's going perfectly right where he was at. So close. We played the game a little bit. Can't ask for much more on the first day, first morning. Let's see, what have we done since last time we talked to him? Went back to camp, ate some food. I took a nap. We just took. It's a pretty gnarly four-wheeler trail. Gains us a lot of elevation and gets us to over 11,000 feet anyway. And I've got this saddle that I've had picked out on X for a while to go look at. I wanted to scout it last weekend but didn't get a chance to, so that's our plan for this evening. We only got to go another, not even 1,000 feet, so I just think the little bit of heavy breathing, what it opens up, is a whole hell of a lot. So we're gonna just at least go see what this basin that, we're only a couple days into the season, so it shouldn't be pressured. We're gonna go see what it has to offer and at least get somewhere where we can glass around and maybe find some elk that aren't vocal, which right now is most of them. Just let me know where you want me. I'll be on your hip until you tell me else. I don't think there's anything in here big enough we're gonna play. You might. Yeah. It's a 4. Right where that one was, right through these. See this little kind of feel like it's natural if anything else is around. There's small bulls running off. Me, the big bull, ran them off kind of thing. Just creating scenarios that make sense for anything else that could be around. But hey, we saw elk. What do we got going on? Well, with what usually happens, I just told Victor that this might be an easy day and we might just road bugle and try and figure something out. We've got a way to cover country with that side-by-side, so I was going to just kind of use it to our advantage while we had nothing going. But second stop produced a bugle and then commenced to, there you go, give us a mad dash. So we ran to the top of the hill and we're over one bull, although I'm not sold that's the one we heard because he's down in this basin. I don't think we would have heard him unless he's really covering country now, which could be the case. We're basically standing up here in the dark, waiting for it to get light enough to make a move. There's some meadows down here I can see, and I'm going to glass them. We could just see elk, and then hoping that other bulls light up, of course. But right now, standing in the dark, waiting to make a play.
We hear this bull one more time, but he's going away from us. We decide we're going to circle around to the last place we heard him, and what do we run into? But a camp. So we decide we're going to use this as a scouting day, hop back on the side-by-side, try and road bugle, and just kind of see the sights, and that's exactly what we do. You're way too big to be trying to circle that. Let's see. To put it pretty simply, we ain't got a clue. We came back up here. We took a different road than where we were at yesterday morning. It kind of gets us back into the same kind of country, but hopefully separates us from where people have been, both hunting and it's Labor Day weekend, so the recreation has been at a high level. So hopefully we've kind of distanced ourselves from all of that, and basically just going to walk a ridge down, call as I go, and hope something wants to play the game. Secondary, we found out some cool roads, and we're obviously going to look for some sign because, as last night kind of showed us, just because elk aren't bugling back doesn't mean they're not here, which I know that already as well, but when you're at a new place, it's hard to kind of get that through your brain. So that's that. That's today's plan. Hopefully the elk gods smile upon us.
I never saw him. Did you? What'd you hear him? Sound like just one. I haven't walked 300 yards and we're bumping elk out. It's a good and a bad problem. Probably kind of slow played a little more, maybe not as aggressive bugles, just kind of how that one was answering us yesterday. Just, there we are kind of stuff. What is this? What is this? Help her out, buddy. Now that we got down it, See, it's probably from last year. So it's not fresh elk sign, but it is elk sign from this time of year. But it's a dandy. Bull. Better bull. Yep. See him?
Can't see.
Right here. Be careful.
I don't want to move.
Better bull. You see him at all?
No. I don't want to move though.
Yeah, don't.
How far?
See the sideways. Like it's leaned up against that other pond.
Yeah.
It's right behind them. Like,
I can't get it.
yeah, he's right behind him. He doesn't look like a monster. I'm gonna try and get my binoculars up. See what he is. All the velvet hanging off, looking through the trees.
Can I step up to
Yeah,
you?
just slide my way. Just right behind that jump last I knew. I'm sure he's still right there.
Where's he at?
Right behind.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he looks nice.
He's small, but he's got velvet hanging off.
That's pretty cool. I got it. Yeah. And focus too.
That's 3 small balls we've just ran right into. You know?
Without even, they're not talking.
It's the hard part.
It's not the rut.
No, and it's the hard part of being excited because I'm seeing things on the map and want to get somewhere, but just gotta slow it down a beat. We'll just sneak through all this stuff. We've now busted 2 elk at least, you know. So we're not doing any good by rushing somewhere else.
No. We know they're in here.
Give him just another couple minutes.
5 minutes or so.
Just go slow. We'll move up another 200-300 yards and we'll do it again.
Well, after spooking the one elk that was basically still in sight of the side-by-side and then walking up onto the other bull, I decided we'd slow it way down and do a bunch of cold calling setups as we moved through this block of timber. Thinking that would be a likely tactic, I would call and we'd move up and call and move up. And when the sun set, we had heard no bugles and we had seen no more elk.
What is that?
Elk are the only sign of any we've seen for the last couple hours. Can you see?
Yeah.
Can you see now? I just hope. I guess in one way or another we'll put it on the map or we'll take it off. Places to return to. We've basically been able to follow this closed road, or old road, up to the top, which is really thick. Otherwise, it's a good thing we have the road. We've had the wind in our favor the whole time, and if nothing else, we did everything right because we've been quiet. And with the wind, all this road does is turn kind of around this little knob, gets to the top, and then I think the top is just quickie patches that roll off the other side. I would expect elk to be there, but I've been humbled plenty on this trip already, so.
me get that on camera. They do exist.
They do exist. They do exist. I don't know why he took off like he got... Maybe he really did get stung by a bee. Many of them is there. He's looking to the left, too.
Oh, yeah, I see him.
All kinds of shit over there. Me and Victor half joking walking across this hillside because we sound like a herd of elephants. I don't even know what the hell else you were doing, but I just said it doesn't really matter. We're not going to see any elk anyway. And I looked down into this bottom, and I actually had been pretty used to getting fooled by seeing rocks and stuff and thinking they were elk, and I thought it was a log. Thought there's no way out. 8:15, there hasn't been elk out in any of these meadows or parks that we've glassed. I kind of just had in my head that it wasn't going to be an elk, and I looked, and sure as shit it was. Got to see him wallow down there for a while. There's like 3 or 4 muddy wallows down there. We didn't get to see him for probably 20 seconds, and he took off. He ran off. And he's obviously not the baddest bull in the woods because he ran off from a little coyote that came in right after that. But all in all, I think that was kind of a lucky break that we needed. We looked for some wallows last night, didn't find any. With this hot September weather, at least we know that's an active wallow getting hit by hopefully multiple bulls. But as of right now, I think that's our plan for this evening too. We'll go back to camp, probably get back in here at like 3 o'clock, sit that wallow the rest of the evening. I hate sitting wallows, but I love seeing elk more than I hate sitting wallows, so it sounds like about the best plan we've got right now. You ready when I'm ready? Check 1, 2, check, check. Well, we drove all the way around this wallow from earlier. Let me restart that. Our plan for tonight was to come back in here where we saw this bull wallowing this morning. We had planned earlier to just go right back to the same parking location, hike in the same way. I even marked the trail on Onyx. But the more I looked at it, the more I thought there could be another road that came in here a different way. So we took that, and we ran right into a road closed dead end sign. I mean, it's legitimately only like probably less than a quarter mile different. So we're just going to go in this way. Hopefully the wind's actually even better coming from this way, kind of coming from down below. And I'm of course bringing all my calls, but I probably won't even call tonight. Maybe if I get restless right at the very end when it's, you know, basically dusk, just to see if anything's in the area we can chase. It's not going to come into the wallow, but the water is the attractant. We know they're coming in, we know they're wallowing, even just getting a drink, whatever. So we saw like, what, 82 degrees when we went to town, I think. So this feels like the right day to sit over a wallow. I've had exactly 0 success sitting them in the past, but if we're going to sit them, the hottest day of the year is definitely a good time to try it.
Oh yeah, that's pretty neat. I found blueberries before. Raspberries. These are the best raspberries I've ever found in the wild. Hands down, they're huge. That spot looks like that. There's a cluster of quakies there, which is, of course, perfectly upwind at the moment.
We get settled in here and nothing happens. In fact, we sit here the next night too that I won't show you because nothing happens. Sitting wallows just has never worked for me.
Just so we're up to speed, Victor didn't say it, but I could read his mind. And it was, this is the point where he wonders about his life choices 2,000 miles away from his house, following some crazy from Wyoming through the woods. Look at the sweat.
We made it to the trail. We don't really need the trail because we got technology, but we're right on top of it. We're about 200 yards from the side-by-side. End of day 3. Oh yeah, and that too. Memento.
There you go. That's what you were looking for. Yeah. Playing with mushrooms, there's a bowl down there. So what's going on?
Well, we got up to our glassing spot. It's freaking perfect. Exactly what I hoped it would be. And we've seen exactly one group of elk. I think there's definitely at least a couple cows in him. And he's finally bugled one time, but it struck me as being a 5-point. But in the back of my mind, it's possible I could have been fooled and that could have been his 5th and 6th point. Probably not fooled, but we're going to go up there and play the game anyway and just see if we can get some excitement. The only downside to that is then we got to get out of that hole. So, but we got granola bars and water and we'll be all right. Yep. Here, smell it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it smells like tuna.
if you can remember that smell we smelled last night was way just more pungent.
Muskier.
Yeah.
Let me smell that again, just for good measure.
It almost smells like cattle, but it's just not quite.
Dude, that's exactly what tuna guts smell like.
Really?
Exactly.
There you go.
I know what it smells like.
Yeah, the bowl, like you could pick up a piss pile like that, you'll be able to smell it. And if you go, ooh, God, that's the bowl. I was telling Victor, you can tell usually if they poop, and you have that, just because you've got the way the body works. I'm sure everybody understands that. Things a lot closer on a cow. You get a bull, if the poop was right there, his piss spot would be right here, or so.
They were definitely here. There's that moo.
Well, we had nothing to lose, so I'm glad we went for it and attempted to have a little fun, but we never saw or heard from this bull again. I'm not exactly sure when he spooked, of course, whether if it was when we were moving in and making a bunch of noise or when I bugled at him that first time, but regardless, he turned into a ghost. We did find a shed though, so not all was lost. And then after that, we of course had to climb up out of that hole I mentioned that had plenty of deadfall timber. We went back to camp, regrouped, and then headed for that same wallow that I told you that there's no even reason for me to show you any of the footage because, again, nothing happened. It was a carbon copy of the night before. So where this picks up next is the final morning we have to hunt before we all have to head back and go to work for a few days. In the early morning hours, we have bulls light up close to camp. We decide to throw our plans that we did have out the window and, of course, just hunt these. And we're right on top of them before the sun even rises.
Jesus mighty.
Maybe that was the bull we were under the other day. Never got a look at.
I don't know what the hell to do. That one sounds big, but you never know. That'd be my worst bugle of the week. Stay right here. Yeah, listen.
What just happened?
I suck. The elk kind of rolled over the top of this ridge when we were moving in. On our way up, I thought they were up the ridge a little more. We ran right into a raghorn and started to bark that I'm sure you saw plenty of, or heard plenty of. Anyway, got to the top of the ridge, ran into that raghorn, and kind of just decided to push the issue and kind of act like I was another bull. pushing that elk around because we were getting barked at. Got to the top and all the cows filed across at like 72 yards or something. Never saw the bull. Haven't heard him again, so he must have been just over the top. Or he did something different, which I've had happen plenty of times. But although now I'm sweating, we got a bull bugling back over here, of course, on the other side of camp. I guess we'll go chase. Hope you enjoyed it.
I did. It's one of the best trips of my life. Thank you, Trent Williams Outdoor.
Whew, you bet. Just, if he bugles while we're picking up, we gotta go. But
Yep,
otherwise,
of course.
We'll